Hey everyone, welcome back to another week of Project Grown Up. This is a weekly podcast about conquering the phenomenon known as adulthood through hard work, discussion, but most importantly, a lot of laughs. We hope you'll be part of this project with us. I'm Alex, and I'm here with my co-host Danielle.
Hey, what's up?
And Amy.
Hey girl, hey.
So every week we start this podcast off with our weekly challenge, and it's where we talk about what we've been working on and what we're trying to do every day to make ourselves better. So let's touch back on what we were talking about last week. Amy, I know you said you were trying to walk every day. How's that going for you?
So it was actually a lot better than I expected. The only problem I had was that there were a few days where I didn't really have time to go for like a long walk. So I substituted that by attempting to run. That's been terrible. I'm on 3 days of running now. And when I say running, I mean walk for 20 minutes, run for 2.5 minutes. Somehow I pulled a muscle in my butt cheek. Didn't even know those had anything to do with each other. So yeah, but honestly, I feel super healthy. It was a good idea, and I'm gonna try to
Amy,
stick
that's
with it.
awesome. That's awesome though. You have to start somewhere, and I'm impressed. I can't tell you the last time I ran.
Amy, I'm dead over here. How's your butt cheek feeling?
No, it actually really hurts. And when I walk on it, it's like my upper hamstring and then my left butt cheek. It just like hurts to walk on. Obviously, I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
walking on my
sorry.
butt cheeks, but you know the situation.
Oh, no, I do, because that was not my weekly challenge, but I did run quite a bit this week because I'm off. And let me tell you, my butt has never looked so good or hurt as bad.
Danielle, what are you working on?
I told everyone that I was going to try to wake up and think more positively about everything. So I decided to write a post-it note over the last couple days about things I'm thankful for. I'm going to read them off really quick. And I was thankful for family, bagels, breakfast, time, comfy sheets, because keep in mind I did this when I got up, travel, making my own decisions, walks, coffee, friends who check in because let's be real, they're the real MVPs, and the song What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow, which you guys really need to listen to if you haven't listened to it before.
Wow, Danielle, I feel like it's Thanksgiving with that list. I love it, girl.
What is that song? Can you like sing it?
Actually, this goes into my what I would like to do this week. I want to learn how to rap the entire song.
Dang.
It goes, "What's poppin'?" Dun, 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 dun. That's about all I know so far.
I have no idea what song that is. You know you're gonna have to rap it on the show now.
Stay tuned, everybody. DJ Church coming in his house next week.
God.
Anyways, Alex, what are you working on?
So this past week I've been working on seeing the beauty in the little things, which has been very helpful. I've been coming back to it throughout the day, especially when something might just tick me off. It's a nice little reality check. It's a nice way to come back to earth and not be so caught up in things. Okay, so we already know Danielle is going to learn how to rap this song, so stay tuned to next week to hear her rap. But Amy, what are you planning on working on this next week?
Again, I want to go for a baby steps, super realistic, super achievable goal because I like the small wins. So this week, I'm going to try and go to sleep by 1 a.m. every night. And I know that sounds like super late, but I've been hitting it like 1:30, 1:45, and then not waking up on time for work. So I'm going to start with 1 a.m. and then later in the future, I'll gradually lower it. So 1 a.m., let's do it, girl.
I feel that. I actually am going to play off of that because that kind of goes into what I want to do this next week. I want to wake up earlier, which means I need to go to bed earlier. I also go to bed at like 2 a.m. So, and I feel like that just rolls into the next day. You know, I wake up later, and even if I just wake up at 7 or 8 instead of right before I need to get on a work call, I might be able to accomplish a lot more. And I just feel like it's a nice way like to put the best foot forward, you know, starting off the day. So that's my goal, Amy. It sounds like that's kind of your goal too. So we'll see how that goes. We'll keep each other motivated there. All right, this week on Project Grown Up, we are talking dirty, rough, and dangerous jobs. So
Ooh, a little scary there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not where I thought you
guys,
were going with that.
viewer discretion advised. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the show called Dirty Jobs that used to be on Discovery. And the host was performing difficult, strange, disgusting, and or messy occupational duties alongside with the employees. I got some inspo from there. And I know you ladies have been looking for that dream job, so I have some offers for you.
Ooh, bring him to us. Come on.
So the first job up I have for you is crime scene cleaner. The job inscription includes death cleanup, suicide cleanup, meth lab cleanup, biohazard cleanup, murder cleanup, decomped body cleanup, hoarding cleanup, etc. Not only would you have to clean up, but you would also have to decontaminate the scene and you would be on call for 24 hours a day.
Do you think they'd still pay me if I threw up on the dead body? That's my main concern.
I think as long as you just clean it up, you're good. You're golden.
The dead body or the throw up? I don't know.
Both.
Both?
You'd have to clean up both.
So I'm going to agree with Amy on that one because if you ever watched a good murder show, you know that that stuff smells bad. It smells rank. And personally, I never want to smell a dead body. So I don't know how I feel about that job. And I already don't do well around throw up. It smells bad.
Okay, you know how like people that work at like McDonald's or Wendy's come home from work smelling like grease? Can you imagine what you would smell like? Like you cannot go on a date after work. That would not work out. I can't. No, I'm sorry.
my
That job
gosh.
is not for me.
They take one whiff of you and be like, on to the next one.
So, how much do you ladies think that this job is paying
Hourly or annually?
annually?
I would hope that it would pay like 60 or 70,000, but honestly, I doubt it's much more than a regular maid. So I'm gonna shoot more of like 35,000, unfortunately.
I'm going to go for 45 grand.
Ooh.
Okay, okay.
Because I feel like that's a job you have to be trained to do.
Okay, so you both were correct. There's a huge range here. We're talking 35,000 to 80,000 a year. The only thing is
Whoa, 80,000.
we'll get this. It's because you're dealing with biohazard cleanup. So the nastiest of the nastiest.
Yeah, see, and think about it. If you're cleaning up a meth lab, you can't put additional crap in the meth lab that makes it worse. So it does require some chemistry knowledge.
Messy
Right?
business, messy business.
I actually saw one of those jobs of it like once on Craigslist and was gonna apply for it until I started reading through the description and I was like, oh my God, I can't. I was like, are they serious? Is this a real job? And it was. I'm like, no, thank you, honey.
That would be on Craigslist.
So Amy, I'm guessing from that you would not take this position.
No, I can't. Not even for like 80,000. I couldn't do it.
Danielle, what about you?
Yeah, no, I'd rather make 35,000 a year in a job that doesn't make me throw up and doesn't make me question all of my decisions. I'm gonna go hard no.
Ooh, okay. All right. I also am probably going to have to say no because dead, bloated bodies and the smell of meth labs. Not that I've smelled it, but I can only imagine. I can barely clean up my cat's throw up, so how am I going to clean up a dead body?
Also think, guys, you know that stuff they put on the playground when you're a kid? Like the wood chips and the fresh mulch on like the first day? I could barely stand that. There's no way I could do like decomposing bodies. The maggots. Oh, think about the bugs. No.
Do you mean like the smell? Or what playground were you at, Danielle?
You know, like when springtime comes around and they're putting mulch everywhere and there's like manure in it to help things grow. Yeah. I can barely handle the actual smell of crap. I can't handle. No.
Dead.
I couldn't do it. No.
All right, Alex, give me the next job. Mama needs something new. What we got?
All right. This one may be a bit more appealing, especially once you find out the salary. So we are talking crab fishermen. I'm sure you are familiar again with the deadliest catch on TV. So you know that as a member of the crew, you'd be working on a large boat in deep, icy cold water. And as a crab fisherman or woman, fisherwoman, you would be exposed to some gruesome temperatures. You'd constantly be wet. You'd be working very long hours, getting up a lot earlier than 8 a.m. And you would be working in very risky and dangerous situations like frozen decks, huge waves crashing, things sliding around that could knock you overboard into the water.
I definitely could not do this job because even though I love seafood like so much, I would die. No, I'm serious. I would actually die. I cannot swim, and to put me on a boat in some really dangerous conditions, I wouldn't make it. I'd be dead with the fishes.
Oh no. Well, I think that we would definitely call you the deadliest catch then. I was all for this job when Alex first started describing. I was like, send me out on a boat. I love the water. I love seafood. I love fishing. And then he started throwing all these death-related cold. No, I don't think I could do it. Plus, I feel like it's mostly men on there, and obviously I'm not into that sort of thing. So who's gonna keep me warm at night? I just can't. I'm over that one too.
All right, what if I told you that you could make 150,000 to 170,000 yearly at this job? Would you
I just
reconsider?
cashed in my gay card, and I will take the job.
And I will learn how to swim. I'll be the next Michael Phelps, except, the woman version.
Yes.
Only thing is that this pay can vary. It is depending on the daily catch. So no crab, no pay.
Well, we better go find some crab, Amy.
Let's do it.
What about you, Alex? What do you think?
Oh man, I don't know. The getting up early is gonna kill me. Also, I cannot.
That's what got her out of all of
Right.
this. There goes that weekly challenge.
Hey, I'm working on it. These people get up at like 5 a.m. That's not happening. I don't fare well in cold conditions. I should be living in the South, but for whatever reason, I am here in the North and I have a heating pad on my lap because I am so cold right now. For the pay, it's tempting, but I'm going to have to say no.
That's understandable because I have lived in some very cold places and it is really, really hard just to stay positive when you're so cold you can't feel any part of your body. At least in the heat, you can.
And it's wet all the time. So
Oh.
you'd also be freezing and wet, which makes it just bone chilling.
Oh, man. It's like when you have wet socks. That's like
Oh.
the worst feeling.
Let me just take this moment to say how grateful I am that I moved to Florida. Alex, thank you again for the idea.
I'll be soon behind you, don't worry. Okay, ladies, your next job opportunity is animal urine collector.
Ew.
Why do you do this to us?
Let me tell you a bit about this job. It might not seem so bad. If you go into Home Depot or whatever store, you might see some animal urine around, and it's usually used for hunting, or I think my grandma might use it to keep the animals out of her garden from eating the flowers. Not sure. But in this role, you'd be keeping deer or any other animals. There's a lot of specializations. I saw an orangutan one when I was looking this up. But so usually you keep them in a room overnight and there's a floor and it has holes in it. The urine drips down through the holes and then you would be collecting it in jars or whatnot.
What kind of animals are we talking about? We talking about like lions, tigers, and bears? Oh my! Or are we talking about like just monkeys?
There's all sorts of animals. I've seen coyote urine, deer urine, and orangutan. Those are the three I've seen. So apparently there's a wide variety that you can specialize in. Take your pick.
So they're in a cage. They cannot eat your face like a coyote might.
Honestly, it's not sounding as bad. Now hear me out. I thought you were going to have to like hold the animals while they go.
That's
And
what I
then, like,
thought.
But I could stand underneath the rain. If it pays well, I think I would do that one.
The one catch is you would need to collect at least 1 gallon a night to keep your job. So you better be giving those animals some water.
I'm out.
But props to the people who do them.
I'm gonna say that it's one of those sciencey jobs where you work really hard and get a whole degree, and then you end up doing this job, and it only pays like $25,000 a year.
I mean, if you think about how many people probably don't want to stand under P, I'm gonna go 50,000.
We're talking 80,000 per year,
Oh,
ladies, to catch some
no.
pee.
What? They made more than I did in my first job.
They make more than I do now.
Okay, so I'm gonna get this job. I'm gonna invent this raincoat that curls up at the bottom, so the pee will drizzle down me, and then it'll all collect at the bottom of my coat, and I'll get gallons on gallons on gallons and dollars on dollars on dollars.
Brilliant, brilliant idea. I'm gonna have to say for 80,000 a year, I would be glad to collect some urine.
I guess I would do it, but for 80,000. But I feel like there's a lot of other things I could do for 80,000 or more a year.
There are a lot of $80,000 jobs, Danielle, but which one can you just go in there and stand with the bucket, and literally the money will rain down on you?
I think that's a fair point. Also, you're not making $80,000 now, so
Oh my
you working a
god.
lot harder than collecting some pee.
Yes, but I'm a lot happier.
All right, so we'll move on to the next job offer I have for you guys. And this one you're probably familiar with, coal mining. You would be extracting coal surface or underground in mines. You'd be operating explosives. You'd be designing and building supportive entryways so it doesn't collapse on you. And you'd be transporting equipment and resources. Now, keep in mind, this job is pretty dangerous for multiple reasons, as I'm sure you're aware of. As mentioned, it could collapse on you. There's a lot of methane in the caves, so just a little spark and the whole thing goes up. Again, trapping you or killing you. And also, I'm sure you're familiar with the black lung caused by inhalation from the coal dust. What are you thinking? You know any miners out there? You want to sign up?
I know it's a very rigorous job, and I know that people can make a really good living out of it. Given all of the jobs that you have described to us previous to this, I would probably do this job if I had to. Honestly, they all seem really like I'd just end up dead, except for the first one.
What
The
about
first
peeing?
one.
You're not going to die from animal urine.
I mean, that coyote gets loose one night, who knows? But so far, it seems like the only job I wouldn't end up in the ground is the first one.
The crime scene cleaner. Interesting.
Unless I stumble in on a crime, well, then she knows too much.
They ordered the cleaners, but you got there early. This is why you should never be early. Okay, so I definitely don't think I could do the coal mining thing. I'm not really worried about the small space, but the physical activity is not for me. Obviously, I'm struggling trying to run for the first time basically ever. And I had a job on a farm once where we literally just went up and down the rows shoveling out stray corn stalks and stray like weeds and stuff, and it was the worst thing of my life. So I can't imagine being underground in the heat. No, no, no. No. Ooh, and you'd be so smelly and dirty. No, thank you.
It also just seems like it would be really hard to breathe, and I like already can't breathe in general. I don't have asthma, I just like have such a hard time breathing. Like I'm that person that's running on the street and is panting so bad that other people turn around because they're like, "Oh, I knew somebody was behind me."
I have to agree with Amy. I don't think I would fare well in this type of strenuous physical labor. I was working on building a house in Honduras one time, and all we had was pickaxes and shovels to build and dig up the foundation. And that was a very eye-opening experience. It was very difficult, very challenging. I don't think I could. I think my body would give up here.
Do you guys remember when you were a kid and we would always try to dig a hole to China? Like, what the hell were we thinking?
I don't think I ever tried to do that.
What's
I
wrong
tried
with
to
you,
look
Danielle?
for fossils in a playground.
So, what do you think the miners are making? They're exposed to some serious dangerous stuff. What do you think?
I'm going to go 125,000.
Okay.
I agree. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like 120, 115, because that's like literally a situation where you are risking COPD, lifelong lung issues. So hopefully they have benefits, but also hopefully they're getting at least over 100K.
They absolutely should make over 100K, but the sad fact is most of them are making somewhere around 65,000 a year.
The
Whoa.
scandal.
Yeah.
That I was not expecting at all.
Yeah, that's some dangerous job, a lot of occupational hazards, and these people are being exposed to, and they definitely deserve more than that.
If I'm being honest, a quick blonde moment, and I'm just gonna put myself out there, but I didn't think that we still had coal miners. I thought that was like a long time ago. I didn't think that was a thing anymore.
I think we're transitioning away from it. You definitely don't see as many as there were. So I think that's maybe why you were thinking that, but it's still a job.
They still use those natural resources for lots of stuff. I mean, I couldn't tell you what exactly. I just know that, I mean, if it's still a job, they're using it for something out there.
All right, transitioning to our next job opportunity. We're talking portable toilet cleaner. You know,
Why
the Johns.
did you have to pick like the most jobs with involving bodily fluids? Like, couldn't you have chosen anything else? You got the person cleaning up the dead bodies with blood and all that stuff everywhere, animal urine. This is what's next? This is it? All right. You know what? I'm just moving back home with mom and dad.
Wow, Danielle, you must be a hot commodity if you're turning down all of these jobs.
Danielle's got better offers lined up. I should find a new line of work other than recruiter, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely replacing you as recruiter because no. I'll get back into customer service. It's fine.
Well, let me just read you the description before you change your mind here. Something might spark your interest. So you'd be cleaning 50 to 60 portable toilets a day, and you would be removing the waste, cleaning not only the toilet but the walls inside the porta-john. But hold on, you'd get a hazmat suit and a power hose.
I've only used a porta-john twice in my life. Once was with you in Miami because I couldn't hold it in anymore, and the other time was at some festival I was at. It gets so hot in there because you always go into them in the summer. No way. I couldn't even do it in a hazmat suit. I'd probably just pass out in there.
Porta potties are the worst time to be a woman because you literally have to use your full thigh capacity to squat to make sure you don't touch anything. And then once you start getting a little tipsy, it's harder to hold yourself up. And at that point, you're like, I just need to go home. I can't do this anymore.
It's awful, especially like when they're outside for a festival or whatnot and they're all muddy and wet. All right, so this is risky business as well. Obviously, you'd be dealing with human waste, so you could become sick, coming in direct contact if that hazmat suit didn't work. You'd have a high risk of diarrhea, nausea, or even typhoid or hepatitis.
No, can you imagine? Okay, first off, you just said that you're at risk of getting diarrhea while you're cleaning someone else's diarrhea. No, I'm sick just hearing about this. I can't. No. I don't care how much money you're giving me, girl. No.
They do make $60,000 a year, if that. You still gonna go with no?
No.
Okay. I would probably also say no, but given the current state, everyone losing their jobs, you can't be too picky. I might have to say yes if in dire need. So obviously these are some dirty, rough, and dangerous jobs, but they are jobs that make our civilized life possible. And for that, we have to thank everyone out there making an honest living doing that. We really appreciate all the work you're doing. So before we wrap up this episode, we want to make sure we slay that Q&A. This is where we answer listener questions that are sent to our inbox on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So for the first one, we have, what celebrity would you like to meet at Starbucks for a cup of coffee?
Can I do two answers? Because I just can't decide. So I'm not going to wait for a response. I am doing two answers. The first one is my cheat. I am going to go with Khloe Kardashian because she cracks me up and I love her and I'm not ashamed. But if if I want to sound good for the podcast, Shonda Rhimes. She is amazing and so smart, inspirational. I would just love to pick her brain.
Those were so good. I like both of those people, and I kind of want to steal them from you, but I won't.
It can be alive or dead.
This person would be Frank Sinatra. That man has such a smooth voice. He puts me at ease. Oh, I love him. Yeah, Frank Sinatra, people.
That is a great answer. Oh my goodness. I'm definitely playing Frank Sinatra at my wedding. Alex, one night I got her tipsy and made her listen to Frank Sinatra for like 2 hours and then she was just like over it. But I love me some Frank.
Yeah, for sure, Amy. And my future husband doesn't know it yet, obviously, but the song at my wedding will be The Way You Look Tonight.
You can add that to your dating profile with the whole Drake and Josh situation and find your perfect man.
Maybe they'll be able to see past the Drake and Josh part if they see the Frank part.
Listen, if some man is loving Drake and Josh, we probably aren't the right match. So, Alex, what about you? Who would you want to go get coffee with?
I am going with the Queen herself, like the Queen of England.
Oh,
I was like, Beyonce? I'm like, I don't know who you're trying to say right now.
I was like, RuPaul?
Yeah, I realized once I said that I sounded like that. No, the Queen of England, people, because, I am trying to emulate her. I want to be the queen myself. And also, she's lived like 100 years, and I want to live 100 years. So, I think I could take a few beauty tips.
Also, I feel like her coffee is much better than the coffee they're going to have at Starbucks. That's like peasant coffee to her.
That's
People, let's be honest. She's drinking tea. She is drinking some Earl Grey tea. She's not drinking no coffee.
Girl, facts. All right. Next question. So this one was sent in by Jackie M. Jackie wants to know, is it cats rule, dogs drool, or dogs rule, cats drool? I'm going to take the first lead on this one and point out the obvious. Cats rule and dogs do drool. Kind of gross.
Oh, literally. You mean literally.
Literally.
Listen, dogs drool a lot, but dogs rule and cats drool if we're answering the question the right way, honey. Dogs, up here, up high. Cats, down low. Except for Klaus. Klaus gets some mad respect. That's Alex's cat.
Thank you. Yes, my naked cat, Klaus. So I'm going to have to say cats rule, dogs drool. Otherwise, he would not be happy with me.
I am slightly afraid of cats. I have been for most of my life. I grew up in the country with some crazy wild like alley cats with rabies. And then also in Harry Potter where the teacher jumps off the wall and turns into a person, it just freaked me out. Like if any animal takes over the world, it's going to be cats. So watch your backs.
All right, for this last question, we're going to get a little controversial here. Guys, is a hot dog a sandwich? I'm going to say that it is because technically it's meat on some bread. That's pretty much every sandwich of all time unless you're a vegetarian.
I disagree. I don't know why, but I just don't like it. I don't like thinking about a hot dog as a sandwich. It's not a sandwich. A sandwich to me is like 2 pieces of bread or 2 something and stuff in between. I guess if you turn the hot dog sideways, it kind of seems like that. But the bread's attached, so it just doesn't count. I don't know. That just annoys me. It's not a sandwich. I don't know why, but it's not.
So then is a burger a sandwich? You said technically it has to have 2 buns. So is a burger a sandwich?
Yes, it has 2
Obviously.
pieces.
So this is hard because I looked up the definition of a sandwich and it says an item of food consisting of 2 pieces of bread with meat, cheese, or other filling in between them. So I think we have to decide, is a hot dog bun when you open it, is it technically 2 pieces of bread if you don't separate it, or is it just 1 piece of bread folded in half?
But it's got that little crease, the same as a burger bun does. Yes. Sometimes they're attached depending on which ones you get. Sometimes the Hawaiian rolls at the store, they're a little attached. You could stick a burger on that too. Yeah. Or a ham sandwich. I've seen people eat ham sandwiches with those. Alex said meat and cheese. Guess what? I've gotten a hot dog covered in cheese before.
Gross.
Boom. Sandwich, honey. Mic drop.
All right, Danielle, answer me this. If you went to the cafe and you ordered a sandwich and they gave you a hot dog, would you be happy with that?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't have ketchup or any of that other crap on it. I just like plain hot dogs.
You're lying. You'd be like, girl, I didn't order no hot dog. You lying.
If I said I want a corned beef sandwich and they gave me a hot dog, I might be like, what is this? But if I said just give me a sandwich and they give me a hot dog, I'd be like, I see you over there. I get it. I'm ready to scarf this down.
I think a hot dog is not a sandwich because the buns are connected unless you tear it apart. That is the defining point there because the two pieces of bread are, in fact, attached. And if you like unattach them, if you separate them, then it's weird to eat the hot dog like that. And if you put stuff on it, it falls out.
All right. Now that we've settled that debate, hot dog is a sandwich. Yes, I
No.
agree with all of you. If you would like to ask us any questions, just send them through our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at ProjGrownUp. That's PROJ GrownUp.
All right, let's wrap this up with our words to live by for the week. It only seemed fitting that we quote Mike Rowe, the host of Dirty Jobs, since that was the main topic of discussion. So for this week, Mike Rowe said, "Happiness does not come from a job. It comes from knowing what you truly value and behaving in a way that's consistent with those beliefs."
Join us for new episodes every week. They will drop Monday at midnight Eastern Standard Time, so you can start the week off right as we unravel another chapter of Project Grown-Up.
Hopefully you found some keys to success in this episode. Cheers to another week of trying to be a grown-up.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers, y'all.